talking the difference between conventional banks and a credit union in this sponsored segment. I am joined now with Landon Bradfield, VP of Growth and Member Services at Jordan Credit Union. And Landon, who did you bring with you today?
Hey, we brought Stephen Nilsson. He's from the Utah Credit Union Association. He's the Executive Vice President. And the association has relationships with most of the credit unions in Utah, and so he comes with a very valuable and unique perspective about credit unions and about things that are facing financial security and those types of things. I'd love to have his point of view on the show.
I'm so glad that you did stop by with Landon. Yeah, I think this is such an interesting topic and one that we might not really understand. We think we do, but do we? What are the main fundamental differences between a bank and having a credit union?
Yeah, it's a great question, and a lot of people don't really understand the difference between a bank and a credit union, but there is a difference, and it's on the fundamental level of how the business is organized. Credit union structure is very unique. It's very different than a bank. So the way it works is, let's compare banks and credit unions. So a bank has two groups of people. They have the customers and they have the owners. And the purpose of the bank is to maximize shareholder return, to maximize the amount of return for the owners. And so what happens at the bank is the bank provides products and services, and that creates value, some of which is returned to the customers of the bank, but most of which is returned to the owners, to the shareholders of the bank. So the bank is kind of extracting, it's transferring wealth from one group of people to another group of people. At a credit union, it's completely different because credit unions are cooperatives. There's not these two separate groups of people. There's only one group of people. So at a credit union, it looks more like it's kind of recycling the value that the credit union provides. So at a credit union, if you are a member of a credit union, you have an account or a loan at a credit union, then you are an owner, a member owner of that credit union. And so any value that you create by using the credit union is recycled back through to the credit union to provide value to other members.
I like that you brought those so that we can really see where that's going. So again, what would an advantage then be to be in the more of the recycled system?
Yeah, so credit unions typically return that value to members in several different ways. One way is purely through finances, through money, right? And they do it a lot of the time by providing better rates on loans, better rates on savings accounts, fewer and lower fees, especially on like mortgage loan closing costs, much lower. In fact, last year, Utah credit unions saved Utah consumers $1 billion. With a B.
Just
right?
$1 billion, right?
I hope you got your share.
I hope I did too.
Yeah,
but that's huge. I mean, there's no disputing how big that number is. And another thing too, it's very community centric, like you're saying with the credit union. But let's talk a little bit about fraud.
Yeah, changing gears, I think, go back to that one slide. I like that slide, the green one. Yeah. So we saved over $1 billion. That's the interest, but there's other services we give back as well as far as technology and safety and services. And would you agree that credit unions are uniquely positioned for keeping our members safe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't spend much time with credit union folks without them saying, oh, the fraud is crazy, the amount of fraud going on. And in general terms, they'll share stories with me, about a member that comes in to the credit union branch and is talking with an employee, and the employee, red flags are going off all over the place, and the employee's like, you should stop and think about this. This transaction might be fraudulent. But the member will, they believe, and so they push through that warning and do the transaction to tragic results.
Oh, no.
They lose the money, they're defrauded. So, yeah, it happens all the time.
So, yeah, I would say because of our position, how much we care about our member owners, man, I want our members to listen to our fraud alerts, and also to, when they're doing a transaction that raises some red flags, to really pause, because a lot of times those pauses don't happen long enough to prevent it.
And we might think that we know at this point, but AI is getting smarter and smarter. So listen to the experts.
Yeah.
All right. You two, this was so important to hear this information today. Where do we go for more if we want to meet up with either of you, dive deeper, learn more?
As far as the Jordan Credit Union, is jordancu.org. You can find out about all our products and all our security and all of our technology there. And
Yeah, if you're a consumer and somebody wants you to send them money and you've never met this person or it's kind of an unusual transaction, look up the credit union's phone number on the website and the mobile app, chat with somebody on the website. It might be actually worth going into a branch and talking with an employee and tell them what's going on, and they may be able to help you, prevent you from being swindled.
Yes,
Yeah.
good info. Spread the word. Thank you both so much. You had me at this.
At $1 billion.
All right. We want to thank Jordan Credit Union for sponsoring this segment.